All right. Wow. I knew I needed to do a video like this because, I mean, how could you not? We are currently at the last day of our trip, our honeymoon, our first time to Europe, first time to Italy, and I didn't know what to expect. Um, and I think I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot about so many different things that I can take home with me in this broadening of a human experience and a more well-roundedness to how I see and experience other things. It was challenging in some ways, you know, trying to read and decipher a different language and um, find my way around. But none of that really matters when I think about the experience, the cultural experience, the history, the things valued, and just the overall pace of things makes America feel a bit embarrassing, at least from my experience and the location that I live. It just all seems very fast and mindless and selfish, um, especially the first few days. You know, when we're in Rome and Florence, especially, me as an American, I feel like just a consumer. You know, a consumer of media and technology and things. And I don't really seem like an enjoyer of the vastness of what all of this is. And it's it's funny, I feel a little embarrassed as a single language speaking individual. You know, it seems like everybody else around me at least has the ability to speak two languages. So everything I'm kind of saying falls into this idea that my world before this trip has been pretty limited because I haven't been to a whole lot of places. So this has expanded my view and my palette on things. And I'm hoping that this is just the beginning because I do wonder what my life will advance to by seeing and experiencing different things. Um, I don't know what I'm going to take home with me. It's hard to kind of digest that until I get home. But immediately and throughout this trip, it's been really just the idea of color and shape and grit and age. Things here are older. They have a wear to them. The colors are old. They're they're washed. They're sun dried. They are natural. The shapes and the architecture of things seem more fluid. I live in a place where everything is manufactured. There's glass and shape that just seems like this new contemporary nonsense. And this is more pure. So I've really been watching the colors and how the light hits certain things and the shadows, and really looking at a lot of things through my own lens, um, in this view of almost like a photo, and trying to kind of select these little grids, and yes, popping my camera out or my phone out when I want to kind of capture what I think looks really nice to reference back on. I'm excited to reference back on what colors really excite me. Some colors that I want to remember and kind of put down into some of my paintings. I don't want to deviate from the depth series, even though that experiencing this, I kind of want to. I mean, I've looked at a ton of Renaissance art and sculptures and things that are old world, but I want to stay within my theme, even though I'm inspired in some other places. Even to the point where I'm Googling how difficult is it to sculpt. That's just even learning about Michelangelo, sculpting is the ultimate. Painting is beneath, and there's something cool about that. But I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever come back here. I don't know if I'll ever see exactly this again. But I do know that I am interested in seeing more. And I think that more will expand me as a person, which will ultimately create a more diverse me. And I think that just is helpful all around. This world is so big, and if I can get to lay my eyes on even pieces of it, I'm just super lucky. So we're going to take in the rest of the day and just kind of relax, and then it's back to it. Back to the chaos and the nonstop speed of what my American life is, and I'm going to make sure that I take these little pieces home with me, even if it's just the stillness of some moments, and fighting to find that stillness of really enjoying a coffee, or really sitting down and eating a meal instead of sifting through whatever it is during that meal. Something I've learned in each of these places I want to take with me. So we'll see. I'll update you when I get back, and see how this is kind of transformed and transcribed into my day-to-day, and I think more importantly, my creative space. So wish us luck on getting back in one piece, and I will see you soon.